0 to gold cap in 5 days. We did it at the start of the expansion and managed some pretty insane stuff, getting to the point of selling millions of gold worth of stuff every hour until we eventually hit gold cap. Now, did this at the start of the expansion, and the most common comment I got on that video was to do it again when things are harder. That's what we're doing. This time, I want to try a few different things in gold making. I'm not going to sort of go into one thing, find something that's profitable and just drill it to gold cap. So we'll try a few different things out here along the way so we can see sort of various different sort of types of gold making as we go along. Now, this time, I have a feeling it's going to take a little bit longer than 5 days, but we'll see how it goes. Now, this time I wanted to start from True Zero. So that is a brand new Battle.net account. Nothing at all. Well, that was the plan anyway. So apparently, I'm not human. When you create a Battle.net account, it asks you to do some human verification, and basically you are counting dice. This isn't like a normal verification process where you're picking out a car in 2 pictures or something. This is 15 questions. I'm not joking. 15 questions. And if you get a single one wrong, you have to do the whole thing again, and it doesn't tell you until you finish the 15th question. Now, I don't think I've never known a game where you've needed to basically complete a Rubik's Cube level of complexity in order just to create an account. So for over 30 minutes, me and my wife tried to do this, and we just could not get it right. And so we're getting quite frustrated with it, thinking like we are absolutely incompetent. And then we Google it, and apparently there is a bug where you cannot create accounts. And we tried everything. We tried remedies that was offered everywhere, so using VPN, stuff like that. We could not create a Battle.net account. So in this series, guys, the number one piece of gold making advice I'm going to give you is never get in a situation whereby the person you are trying to make money from cannot give you money, because that is frigging ridiculous. Okay, so we simply could not create a new Battle.net account, and we tried over a couple of days. We tried everything, and we couldn't do it. So what I ended up having to do is, rather than start a brand new Battle.net account, basically I just had to create a new WoW account on my already US Battle.net account that I had. So eventually we got to character creation. It was a journey just to get there, but we got there. Now, I just generally just click randomize and just go with whatever it is. So it basically gave me a choice between Green Lantern, completely historical, accurate Scottish guy, and pasty, white, middle-aged, WoW nerd guy. So the choice was really clear on which one I had to go with. So I create a level 1 character. I decide to call him NFTs to Gold Cap, because, you know, why not? There is definitely no sort of secret code or anything like that, guys, in this part of the video, okay? So we create level 1, good to go. I go with Hunter because, you know, Hunter's sort of easy mode and I sort of suck at the game. So it's just sort of the nice, easy, sort of, you know, chilled out leveling thing. Now, because this account's sort of shared and it's warband shared, I've got to be careful not to use anything sort of that involves reputations or anything like that, that it will get shared from my main account. So I'll be avoiding sort of reputation stuff as much as I can, basically. Now, when leveling, I get bored really easy. So I wanted to split my leveling between some gathering, some dungeons, and some story mode, basically. Now, initially, I was going to do classic mining for my farming. Now, this isn't the best gold per hour from the actual farming. You can make some sort of not bad gold, like copper ore and stuff like that. It's like 6-7 gold in the US, which is like absolutely crazy. But it's not, that wasn't the main reason I wanted to do it. Obviously, it's going to make gold from that. But I also saw that just refining basic quality classic ores into bars was actually profitable. Now, I'm not saying this is massively profitable. It was like, you know, 3,000 gold an hour or something. But 3,000 gold an hour, like 2,000 to 3,000 gold an hour at that point was like absolutely huge. But the thing I needed was I needed to get that classic mining skill up to be able to do the refining. Even though it's a crap gold per hour, it's free gold, which you can have running for like whenever you're on WoW, basically. So I could run it sort of when I'm running with accounts, doing other stuff and stuff like that. But it didn't work out. And the reason it didn't work out, so I did try sort of mining in Ilwyn Forest and stuff like that to get the mining skill up. It was just too slow to get it up. And I knew by the time I got it high enough to actually use it, I'd be so high level that I'd be almost to the point where I'm level 70 anyway. And then I thought, oh, well, I'm going to get to, I just go and do something else instead, do it a bit faster and earn the gold now rather than doing it over time. So I switched to Dragonflight mining instead for when I was farming, because the Draconium ores like 25G each and the Ceravite ore sort of 6 to 8 gold each per ore. So that's pretty crazy prices for something that you can just go and do while you're leveling up. And these do so well because obviously these materials go into stuff that is used in War Within engineering, and therefore there is demand for them and they do sell. So that's what I did. So basically I started my farming, the time when I was farming, I started in sort of classic mining, was hoping to go for the smelting to sort of make the AFK gold from that, even though it was a low gold per hour. But then when I realised it was so slow on the mining, it was just so much better to go to Dragonflight, and it worked out so much better. You get so many more nodes in Dragonflight that it was definitely worth making the change. So that's where I ended up doing my farming, sort of mostly in Waking Shores. So I did do some dungeons as well. I was mostly just doing time walking dungeons because the amount of experience they give is just insane. So it was like 3 levels-ish per dungeon. So it was just blasting through the levels when I did do some time walking dungeons. But to be fair, I didn't do that many of them. I was mostly sort of mining and doing some story mode. Now, usually, I quite frequently get told I'm a scammer, I'm an exploiter, all that sort of stuff. When I do these sort of really crazy things with the economy, like I do a 296 million gold sort of mailbox opening, those sort of accusations always come out. Those sort of accusations don't usually come out when I'm at level 23 in a dungeon and people are already calling me a scammer. It's like these guys can see into the future. Perhaps calling myself NFTs to gold cap was probably not the best idea in the world. Now, I like to do some quests or story mode just to keep me stimulated in the leveling process. It just breaks it up a bit. I may as well go for the best story expansion, seeing as I'm going to try and do pretty much a whole storyline. So, of course, I considered Legion and Wrath of the Lich King. But, of course, I had to go with the best of them all. So we went with Shadowlands, of course. I just couldn't wait to get into the Maw and sort of grind through that story mode once again. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever, besides pure enjoyment of the storyline, why I used to go Shadowlands story mode, So this is basically how I split up my leveling. So it was a bit of mining in Waking Shores, some time walking dungeons, and blasting through the Shadowlands story mode, basically. Now, one of the most annoying things as I was leveling up was definitely sort of the lack of bag space, which was quite frustrating at times, especially when you're running like 8 slot bags and stuff like that. Fortunately, that wasn't an issue for so long, especially once I just did a stint of mining and got some gold up and that stuff sold through. But when at the start, when I was just doing some dungeons, especially right at the start, bags were filling up really, really fast. But obviously soon didn't become an issue as I got some mining, got some more gold, and then was able to sort of upgrade the bags a little bit. So basically, that is how I got to level 70. And then I went to the War Within. Now, I didn't actually upgrade the account to War Within until I got to level 70. And that was basically because as soon as you upgrade it, then you get the Warband experience bonus, which obviously is an advantage. But the only way, once I got to level 70, there was sort of no way I could avoid that. So I was going to get sort of bonus experience between 70 and 80. But to be fair, it doesn't really make a difference because the only way I'm getting from 70 to 80 is mining and herbalism. I'm going to do way more than I need to get between 70 and 80 anyway. Getting to level 80 is not really a goal. I just need to get some starting capital to get me going, basically. So once I got to level 70, I did have a bit of gold that I'd made from all that mining and herbalism left over. So basically I used it. Obviously, I'd got the bags upgraded already, and I used it to buy mining and herbalism sort of profession gear, sort of all the rank 5 and common stuff. I bought it from Area 52 on the US and transferred it over to my server. And that was basically because it was just significantly cheaper on there. I also bought the rank 2 finesse enchants. Those were only about 1,000 gold each, I thought, and I knew I was going to be doing a lot of mining and herbalism, so I thought they were worth investing in as well. So the plan here was to use mining and herbalism and use the Halophor route that I recently used in my video talking about the best mining and sort of herbalism routes in the War Within. It's really easy, simple, high node density, and I could run this from level 70, which was great. So I was going to run this at least from 70 to 80 and probably a bit further as well to sort of build up some more gold as we go. I also wanted all the artisan security from all the catch-up items as well that I'm getting from sort of the mining and the herbalism. So that would sort of be a benefit as well to get all that as well as we were leveling up, because we might have some use for that when we get to level 80 as well. Now, one thing I did notice, in comparison to when I did the first mining and herbalism artisan security farm, it seems to be significantly slower than it was before. So I think I actually went almost to level 74 when I did this all live on stream, and I think I only got like 5 or 6 mining catch-up items, which is absolutely absurd, because before, when I actually were getting the footage for when I did the original mining and herbalism artisan security farm, I think I was getting like 1 every sort of 3 to 4 nodes. So I got 6 in maybe 15 minutes or something. So to get 6 in sort of nearly 4 levels was absolutely crazy. So I think I've got to a point now where I'm probably not going to recommend people do the herbalism and mining now. Probably just stick with the sort of enchanting one. And if you want to, then people are having a lot of luck with the skinning one as well. So probably check that one out. Although I haven't tried it out myself yet. That's just going on other people's recommendations. Now, I do have sort of a few ideas on where I want to take this sort of as we go forward. But at the moment, all I need to do is build up capital, and that's basically all I need. I just need some gold to get started, and then we can take it from there and sort of see how we're going to move forward there, sort of push towards gold cap. Like I said, I farmed on stream up to almost level 74, and after that I just listed everything on the auction house, and this is the mailbox opening that we're going to look at today, guys. And what we have here is we have a mailbox of over 33,000 gold. Guys, I can probably make a video on YouTube saying that this method is worth millions of gold every day based on that mailbox opening from what I've seen on other people's videos that say that. That being said, we really want to make millions of gold, but for that, you're going to have to tune in for next time and see how we go. Maybe there's some secret scam here with the NFTs. After all, did that Shadowlands storyline actually mean anything? And will we get more than 10 mining catch-up knowledge before we get to level 80? So for all of that, you'll have to wait till next time, guys.